Hi, I'm Danielle from Journey of a Brave, and today I'm going to change a little bit the dynamic in this channel, because lately, with everything that has been happening in Mexico, in the UK, everywhere in reality, I want to talk about the role of women and the role of women in history, because societies are built out of stories. And when those stories are told incomplete, or what's left of the story as time goes by is only a portion, and that portion is in a way antagonizing towards women, or just leaves a lot of truth behind, it's a problem. So today I'm going to talk about the Medusa. So Luciano Garbati created this sculpture of Medusa and placed it right in front of the court where the Harvey Weinstein case is being debated right now, or is being judged. And it's a very important piece of art, and it's not out of its beauty, but its message. So basically what this statue is about, it depicts Medusa. You know, Medusa, this mythological woman that we've always known, that has like serpents in her head and turns everyone into stone when she stares at them. That's Medusa. But she carries the head of Perseo. So what's the story behind this? As I was mentioning before, Medusa has always been placed inside our minds like this terrible character. But the reality is that she used to be a priestess at one of the temples of Atenea in Athens. And one of the requirements for the women that were there was that they had to be virgins. And yet, there was this beautiful woman who is Medusa that is there. She's a young woman, and Poseidon rapes her. So why am I talking about this right now? When you see all these characters, you always need to wonder what brought them there. And what actually happened with Medusa is that Atenea told her that she could no longer be there. And not only that, she turned her into what we know of Medusa, which is this woman that turns everyone into stone, and she became like this sort of monster. Atenea turned her into this sort of monster, but anyway, that is another story. Because that's also like, you see how women against women always being antagonized against women, not only like, I think that this happens in our society right now, because through all these stories we've learned that it's this way. But anyway, some people say that the reason why Atenea did this was in order to help her, because she didn't want her to be raped again. Who knows, but right now that's not the point. The point is that later Perseo goes to the island where Medusa was and decapitates her. After this horrible life that she's been through, this man arrives with Atenea's shield and gets her head. And that head, he used it as a gift for this king that he was going to see. And what the statue that I've been telling you about depicts is actually the story turned like in reverse. So now we have Medusa holding the head of Perseo right in front of the place where the Harvey Weinstein situation is being judged. So a lot of people, if you Google this piece, you're going to see that a lot of people are debating if she was too thin, if she doesn't have enough hair, if blah 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 blah. But the truth is that I think it's wonderful that a man did this sculpture. Is perfect. A lot of people also complain about that, but I think that we also need to be more mindful and open for this to be a dialogue between men and women, because otherwise we're like falling into the same mistake of just, you know, keeping ourselves on one side and making men part of the other. But it's wonderful that these stories are coming out to the surface, and that we have time to look back and to reivindicate the role that these women have played in history. Because all these little fragments and stories are the reason our society is built the way it is built right now. So anyway, this is just food for thought. I think it's very important that we look back in order to be able to look forward, and to plan better, to plan our society better. Because one of the things that I learned from living in different countries is that we decide. The way everything works is a choice, and it's the choice of the masses in the countries where democracy still exists, and we need to fight for that. We need to make sure that we build societies better. I have 2 children, and I'm terrified of the world we're living for them. So I hope these stories become a grain of salt in your life and in the way you listen to history and in the way you approach other women, and perhaps only then we will be able to generate some much needed social change. Thank you for joining me. If you like this format, if you want to hear more stories, please let me know in your comments, and I'm gonna do the very YouTuber thing and ask you to subscribe as well, because, well, the reality is that that's the only way to know if someone is listening. So thank you very much for being here.